So I don't want to see a PA member at much too much. I'm not a leader that wants to be fashionable like Masaba Khutala, but leading my people to jail. Who's gonna bail you? Then your mother must go alone. Where will McKenzie be?
So I see, Gayton McKenzie, unkombile. He did this to you. All the way from the USA. Hey, listen. I don't know if you've been following some of my videos. I think probably 2 weeks ago, if not more. What I said, fellow South Africans, it's time we moved away from politicians. There is no way that we are going to be taken on a bipolar roller coaster ride. One moment, we are made to feel like, yes, yes. And the next, we are made to feel like we are kindergarten children that are being naughty on the playground. And now we need to be disciplined. We need to go to the naughty corner. No, no. We are not children. We are giving people power over us. And then when they get the power, they are so disrespectful towards us that now they believe that we belong to them. They've forgotten our constitutional right of choice. That if we are having a situation in our communities and we want the situation solved, but them being in government, they don't want to hear us, and then we take matters, and I'm not talking the law. I'm talking about us now controlling the situation by getting rid of it. And then you come as a politician because you believe you own people. And you say, I don't want to see you. I don't want to see you there. Who do you think you are? You are telling adults what to do. It doesn't matter whether they wear green, but at the end of the day, there's a situation in their community that you decided to abandon because you got seated. And now they are seeing an opportunity because a vacuum was left. And now since the vacuum, much and much came through. But I see it. I see it as well. Gayton McKenzie is terrified of much and much. Is terrified of much and much on two reasons. The first reason, it took away his thunder. And the second thing, he's afraid that if much and much, and they have no intentions, by the way, Mr. Gayton McKenzie, of them becoming a political party and then removing you from parliament and everywhere else. But I can tell you right now, the votes that you are going to get, they're not going to be as much as they were in 2024. Probably not even half you are going to get this time around, because suddenly you think you are superior to adults by telling them what to do. And you must also understand that it was not just a specific type of South African that voted for you. It was multiple or a variety of South Africans. Look at their comments on TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. All of them saying, I regret voting for you. So you can just tell that they vote, you've lost it on the 4th of November 2026. And I heard you say on the 5th of November, you are taking over municipalities. I'm sorry to tell you not. PA isn't taking no municipality. Maybe wards, but not municipalities. So I've been trying to rack my head around, but let me start in the beginning. In 2024, after the elections, the Patriotic Alliance went radio silent. Like, boom, about Abahambe. Because remember, an election campaign, it is active from the day of the elections. In fact, before the day of the elections, That's what convinces people to vote for you. But the campaign continues, Mr. Gayton McKenzie, all the way till the next election cycle. In every speech you speak, you include your campaign as Patriotic Alliance. And the third thing that I also noticed about Gayton McKenzie is out of fear of much and much, not much too much, it's much and much, he was afraid that, number one, yeah, his thunder has been taken because we went the radio silent, but he's trying to hijack the results of much and much. He even had the audacity to say, but look what is happening now. Planes are taking off with Ghanaians and Nigerians. Buses are taking people to Malawi. No, that's not it's not because of you. It's not because you are sitting with the president in the executive meetings. No, it's not you. You're not going to take the credit, sir. You're not going to take the credit. The credit goes to much and much. And all the other South Africans that join in with much and much. And then you sitting in the executive office, you got shook along with Cyril Ramaphosa. You got shook by much and much. And then I see also the fourth thing, you are attempting to start a fight with Action SA. And I hope Action SA will just blue tick you. I hope Herman Mashaba will blue tick the living daylight out of you. Because you now realize, we should have also joined much and much and gotten some attention. But now you think that much and much works with Action SA, and there's this platitude of people that are potential voters for Action SA. So you want to discredit Herman Mashaba. This is not the USA where you play the man, not the ball. Please blue tick him. Action SA is not worth it. He's not worth it. But going back to 2024, after the elections, PA went radio silent. And I remember asking around November, if not January of 2025, what's going on with PA? And then I even made excuses for Gayton McKenzie. I said, okay, there's a high possibility that Gayton McKenzie came across things. Okay, before coming across things in government, I understand that he is part of the GNU. And of course, the GNU is run by Cyril Ramaphosa, the ANC, and the ANC's policies on illegal foreigners, it's quite clear, humanitarian. And the only time this policy can be changed is when the ANC goes to its conference in 2027. The ANC's hands are tied by that policy of humanitarianism. That is why they've been sitting on their ears when South Africans are saying, hey, listen, we are suffocating because of illegal foreigners in our communities. Not only in our communities, but also in workspaces and everywhere else. They are unaliving us. They are mugging us. They are selling white powder to our children. They are kidnapping our children. They are kidnapping women. Now they are unaliving women and turning them into a shipment vessel for drugs from one province to the other. And the ANC says absolutely nothing because they are tied up by their own policy when it comes to illegal foreigners and asylum seekers and refugees in South Africa. And since that policy is an ANC policy and ANC campaign, by the way, the ANC has to execute it in government. And then that is why suddenly, or out of the blue, when Gayton McKenzie comes out of the shadows He doesn't seem to have been coming from the shadows. It seems that he's coming from somewhere else where the sun don't shine in Ramaphosa. Because he speaks like, every time he opens his mouth, he reminds me of the Republicans when they speak about Donald Trump, this president, who speaks like that in South Africa. This president, Aibo, this president, and he forgot that even though he is part of the GNU, he is still an opposition. He's forgotten his duty as an opposition inside the GNU. But instead, he is singing Cyril Ramaphosa's praises from Cape to Timbuktu. And then the question one has to ask is, what happened inside there? And I think there's far more than meets the eye that made Gayton McKenzie suddenly pro Cyril Ramaphosa. Oh, the way he praises that man. The way he praises that man. So much so that he's even become his defender. Cyril Ramaphosa is not going anywhere. Cyril Ramaphosa is going to finish his term in 2029. How are you going to control all these processes? There's an impeachment process that's going on already. And Cyril Ramaphosa has taken his the Pala report or impeachment to court. And in my head, I'm thinking, but shouldn't you go back to the Constitutional Court? But one thing about the Constitutional Court, it does not reverse its decision. Its decision is final, and you cannot appeal that particular decision. I think most South Africans understand that concept about the Constitution and its decisions. It's the highest court in the land, apex court in the land. And the apex court in the land speaks of impeachment process. And then you decide to say, I'm going to go to the high court to stop impeachment process. That's going against the Constitutional Court ruling. Anyways, time will tell on that one. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. So, Gayton McKenzie, what's making you panic, sir? What is it that made you say, okay, I'm going to leave this Abahambe and I'm going to align myself and the PA with the ANC humanitarian policy? I think that's what it's called, humanitarian policy. And the interesting part about that policy, it's not public. It's not like the manifesto of the EFF, its opening sentence. It's about the protection of illegal aliens, legal or illegal aliens in South Africa. And they are living up to that sentence of the manifesto of the EFF. They've lost votes anyways. Those ones are not coming back in any municipality. Not even with one seat, let alone a PR seat. South Africans are done with them. And there comes Gayton McKenzie begging South Africans not to vote for the PA on the 4th of November 2026. That's what you did, sir. That live or that instruction, it was not only to the PA. That instruction was also to people that were making a decision. And maybe their decision was, oh, okay, I think I'm going to vote for the PA. Now you've lost that vote. It's gone. You are not going to tell South Africans what to do. South Africans don't like to be told what to do. And I thought you would have known that better. Fellow South Africans, I don't know. There's another politician, and I think it's good that they are revealing themselves. 2026, you've been a year of absolute miracles, I must say. I'm telling you, because we want less political parties in our cities now. Less. And I always said 3. is enough. 3 is enough. An odd number is enough. Just this 3. So, yeah, PA has kicked itself out on all municipalities in South Africa. Yeah, like I said, they might win here and there, but it's not as significant as they would have won on the 4th of November had Gayton McKenzie did not come and act like he's the boss of South Africans. I did see the subtexts, threats. I saw the subtext of threats that he also dropped because he sits in the executive. There are executive decisions that have been made, and those executive decisions are to deal with South Africans on the 30th of June 2026. I also see what you were trying to do with that instruction. My people must be safe from what's about to happen. But the delivery was wrong. Oh, the delivery was so wrong. But anyways, fellow South Africans, I will leave this video right here. Now you know who not to vote for. Because he came out and begged y'all not to vote for him. But on a serious note though, fellow South Africans, we need to move away from politicians. We can do this on our own. Much and Much has showed us that we can do this on our own. I hope you are registering independent candidates in your communities. We're taking that route now. Taking matters in our own hands. We need to get rid of politicians. We need to get rid of politicians. When I say rid, I mean like no longer voting for them, no longer listening to them. Let them go back to the community where they come from and learn how to treat us. When we say jump, they should ask how high. Don't argue with us and then forget that the power you have is mine. I gave it to you because I wanted some sort of structure. And you got drunk by my power. And then you turn around and you instruct me what to do. When my community is burning because of illegal foreigners, we are in. Some politicians have it's not even a matter of some. They have forgotten South Africans. Let's remind them. Let's remind them. And Gayton McKenzie came out to show us how much disrespect South African politicians have for South Africans. That entire thing was a demonstration of disrespect for South Africans, including members of the PA. They're still South Africans. The threats, you're threatening South Africans. I know you're going to say I was not threatening anybody, but subtexts, we're not stupid. We went to school, by the way. And in school, this is exactly what we were taught, to be able to read between the lines. Anyways, I'll leave this video right here. It's upsetting, but I'm glad that Gayton McKenzie finally came out. Just like the EFF, he begged South Africans not to vote for the PA. We got the message loud and clear, Mr. Gayton McKenzie. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.
We want nothing to do with much too much. I'm telling you today, stay far away. I know what is coming.